everyone, it's your girl Miss Angie, and we are back with another Let's Talk Tuesday. And as you see from the title, we are talking about, does social media impact the dating scene? Like, is it really impacting how people are dating and communicating with each other? So, of course, we got my notes. This video, this topic has actually kind of came to me when I was listening to Everybody's Crazy podcast, and I really enjoy listening to the podcast because it's really keeping, just real people with real things, real issues, with real situations. And so one of the ladies who had called in was basically talking about the dating scene and noticing that everyone is just so in tune on their phone, and they are, a lot of people, I guess, are choosing to use the dating apps and stuff like that. So anyways, I decided, I was like, let's dig deeper into this topic. So I kind of came up with 5 major key points that I feel like is really good for this topic. So I personally feel that, yes, social media does play a big role in the dating scene now. Like back in the day, it used to be, give me your number. It used to be the conversation, it used to be meeting at the mall. This is, of course, when I was in my, high school going into the 20s, but there was more communication versus how it is now. Everybody's on their phone, everybody's texting, everybody's just always engaged in what's going on the social media platforms. Number one, I feel like people have definitely lost the natural, like I mentioned before or earlier, they have definitely lost communication skills. Communicating, holding regular conversation is not natural no more. Even if you're at a dinner table, it's not natural anymore to just actually sit, enjoy your meal, and have a conversation. A lot of times people are worried about everything else going on and they don't have the conversation. So I definitely feel like social media has took over in that aspect when it comes to dating. And that's basically just the whole art of regular communication. The other point was that people are being catfished. Let's not forget, people are being catfished, and the people are on social media using the enhancements or different parts on the app to, make them look different. Or people are straight up using other people's profile pictures. And then when you try to see the person in real time, real form, that's not them. So social media has definitely been on the catfishing run for a while now. But it's like, yes, we need to understand that people are not showing up as how they really look in real life. So what it was another point that I had made, showing their assets that they really don't have, like the cars, the bags, the houses, the clothes. Like, we all know that you can rent a car. We all know that. We all know that you can borrow jewelry, bags, whatever, from your homegirls, or whatever the case may be. We all know that you can rent an Airbnb now and show this fancy place that you could be living in and blah, 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 all on social media. Because at the end of the day, it's a picture, it's a quick post, it could be a quick video, and that can all be temporary. But in real life, they may not have all of that. So on social media, they show these assets that people really don't have. And the girl or guy may fall for that and be like, oh, okay, well, I seen, on the gram or on Facebook or on YouTube, this is the lifestyle that they're living, and they're not living it. So therefore, yes, once again, another reason why social media is playing on a lot of these people is because they think it's legit real. When they show up, pull up in this truck, pull up in this Tesla truck and all of that, but is that really theirs, or are they renting it, borrowing it? What is the real deal? We don't know. And then you meet the person and they like, oh, that's, they might use the excuse, I bought it and returned it because I didn't like the purchase, or whatever the case may be. It's like, what is going on? So that's another thing. This is another good example. So and of course, I have talked about this show plenty of times. I love Pop the Balloon with Arlette. It was a guy on there. A lot of people have reposted this viral moment. A guy was on there with his jewelry and everything. He was so quick to say, you know, have you been flown out? Have you been on a jet or a boat? Whatever the case may be. But that's another example I wanted to use. Coming forth with your assets. And he was, you know, now on Pop the Balloon, they do show their Instagram name. So I went ahead to find out for myself just to see, like, what the heck is this guy about? Because he claims he was at the club popping bottles, you know, spending money. And I mean, yeah, that's what it shows on social media. He did come on Pop the Balloon with all his jewelry, these name brand clothes, and all of that. But the girls was not feeling that. Like in real life, they're looking like, I want substance. That's not substance. We'll get a little deeper into that. But it was like, what happened to the good conversation, good company? Like, you show up with all your jewelry, what you can provide as far as vacations and stuff like that. But what happened to real time? Like, what is your 9-to-5 job? What is your aspirations and goals for the next 5 years? Like, just because you got all this jewelry and you can fly me out on a jet, I could probably do that myself. Like, I don't need a man for that. I need a man, if, you know, for the people, because I'm married now, but I'm saying for the people who are looking and you're single, you want substance. You want somebody who's going to provide conversation and knowledge in something. You're not about to just say, have you ever been on a boat? Have you ever been on a jet? Like, okay, and so what happens after that? What happens after the club? Like, what is the other stuff? Like, what? It just is mind-boggling. But anyways, I love that show down, but it was just crazy how he just walked on the scene thinking he was gonna leave with somebody just because of all his materialistic assets. Like, no, that's not what we're doing. The next one is, this was another good one. So social media displays that your meal has to be $300 and more. Now, I've talked about this before. When they did the whole list of like what restaurants, and I know I use this as an example. I love using this as an example because the girlies had came up with a list of places to not take me on the first date. The social media norm is you gotta take me to Ruth Chris and spend money on a bottle or wine or, you know, an alcoholic beverage, and then the meal must be 100 plus. And social media shows that when a lot of people are displaying their food and where they're at and for the aesthetics and how we dress and how we look. And it's like now the younger generation coming up feels like, no, my man need to take me out and he need to spend $300 plus. I'm sorry. Like, what happened to the regular? This is my thing and I'm still standing on it. Me and my husband, we go to different restaurants for date night. Simple. Some restaurants may be higher than others. We even went out to Applebee's one day. We have been to different restaurants. You know, I tell him, hey, if you want to choose a place, that's cool. Even if it's not my favorite, I'm still going to go. We're still going to take turns. You know what I'm saying? Going to different places. But how dare I on the first date say you got to spend $300 plus on me and we're getting to know each other? Like, no. But social media shows that this is what we have to do. So now people don't want to go on dates because they feel like, well, shoot, I got to show up. I got to be, you know, down to the nines and show up and pull up in this nice car to impress the female and take her out. Like, no, the first date needs to be you guys getting to know each other, not sitting at the table with your phone. I don't even know where my phone is. Out sitting at the table taking a picture. Like, it's nothing wrong with that, but at the end of the day, what are we talking about? What's the conversation? What's the purpose of the date? How are we getting to know each other? Because lo and behold, after you eat your meal, then what? Like, a lot of guys, let's just keep it real, a lot of guys are not just going to spend $300 on you and then take you home. Where is the substance? Where is the substance? I'm not even going to get into that. But there, like I said, there's nothing wrong with wanting to take pictures and all of that. That's okay. It doesn't have to be on every date, but you're just showing, it's just for the aesthetics. That's all it is, for the aesthetics. Like, let's get into the real date. Let's date with intention. Let's date with substance. So going back to that, putting the phone down during dinner. Like I said, it's okay to be present. It's okay to have that conversation. So put the phone down. I feel like that's another thing. We're so quick to be on the phone scrolling and texting, and we're not even looking up at each other. And this was a point that my husband made when we were talking about this, because I always like to run through with some of the topics that I like to talk about with my husband. He made a good point. He said, we live in a world where they don't care what you're doing, but care for how you do it. Everybody wants to see how you're showing up. They want to see how you are throwing the biggest, baddest birthday party. They want to see how you're dressing up to all these social events and different dinners and stuff like that. They don't care what you're doing, but they care about how you're doing it. Nobody cares to see a reel on you going to let's just say going to Chili's or going to Applebee's. They do, but they don't. I'm saying when we look at from the aspect of how people chime in, like, yes, when you're going on a date, they want to see the glitz, the glam, like the dress, the style, what kind of jewelry, what kind of shoes, all of that. They want to see that versus going to Applebee's, sitting down on a date, and then that's it. They don't want to look at the quality time of it. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not trying to see the quality time. They're not trying to see the effort put forth of a relationship building, trying to just go out and get to know each other. They want to see, are they sitting at Ruth Chris? Are they getting that $100 to $150 plate? What are they drinking? How are they, what are they wearing? You know what I'm saying? They want to see that. Now, a lot of us regular people don't mind seeing just a good plate of food and just seeing good conversation. But social media, once again, shows this type of this is how it should be. This is how it should look. So I definitely feel like, like I said, to a certain extent, I do feel like social media definitely plays on the dating scene of now. Going back to, like I said, a lot of people are on the dating apps, and there's nothing wrong with being on the dating apps for people that it works for. For me, back in the day, it was a lot of people was just trying to meet, hook up, and that was it. Nobody was looking for nothing real. So, thank God I'm married now, because the dating scene is crazy, and I pray for all who is trying to date in this time. But I feel like there are people out there that are still in the mindset of a good date, a good sit down, have conversation. You just have to be able to weed out the ones that ain't on that type of time and start to weed in the ones that really want to get to know you, want to really sit down and put the phone down. Let me get to know you. Let me get to understand what you like and what you don't like. That is the art of a regular communicational date. That's the art of it right there. So anyways, I hope you guys love this Let's Talk Tuesday. Please like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel. And I can check you guys out on the next one. Thanks again. Bye.